Okay, minasan, konnichiwa, Zamurai Engineer desu. So in this video, this is very short explanation on how we can safeguard our load and devices. For example, there are instances that you may encounter wrong connection of wire, and then suddenly the circuit burns or the equipment burns or the device burns, like what? Like Arduino. Okay. Like LED can easily be burned. IC, a digital IC can easily be damaged by burning. And after those electronic devices were burned and the burning is not apparent by visual inspection, for example, visually you cannot identify that this piece is already burned out. Okay, if you cannot identify it by visual inspection, it is very hard. It is very hard to conclude that it is really burned down. Okay, even as simple as LED, it's very hard. So, in order for those different types of problem to occur, I will give you different types of circuit. They are actually look like one another. They look alike. However, as you will see, share. Let me share. So I will pick up the picture. So I will share this one, share. So this is our subject MEG3, Mechatronics Engineering. So is it, okay. What is this? Electronics. Okay, so electronics component. So let us look at the first. Look at the first one. What is the first circuit? Okay. So I will share it instead. This one. Okay. So in your screen, you can see. Okay. This is what we call reverse polarity protection. So this is your circuit. This is your circuit. Okay. And this is your power supply. Okay. Circuit, power supply. You will add one piece, okay? One piece of diode. What kind of diode? This is the name of diode. IN4004. Okay? This is not expensive. Sometimes less than 10 pesos, sometimes less than 20 pesos. Something like that. It depends on the voltage. Usually your voltage is only 12 volts or 5 volts. So if your voltage is power supply is 12 volts, then this is also 12 volts. So this is 12 volts, then it is not expensive. Okay. Okay. So this is Schottky diode. Schottky diode. Okay. To protect. You notice. Okay. This is how you connect it. Positive polarity, negative polarity. I do not have example of battery. Okay. So this is positive polarity. If you have a dry cell, the A A-type battery or the double A-type battery or the triple A-type battery, the part with protruding part, okay, that is the positive. That is the positive. The part with protrusion, okay? Okay, that is the positive. Then I have this, mark. So if you have a battery like this, so there is something like that. That is the positive side. Okay? That is the positive side. Okay? So almost all the different types of battery have something like this. Even the small battery, the battery that looks like this. Battery for what? Calculator, for watts. There is a protrusion here. There. That protrusion, this part, that is the positive. Okay? Anyway, if that is really a battery and properly following the code, okay? If it follows as a standard, there is a symbol. And the symbol is very easy to recognize because the symbol is plus. There is a symbol positive. And therefore, that is really the positive side. Okay? What about the Schottky diode? So Schottky diode, the part, for example, this is the actual diode. For example, this is the actual diode. Okay? There is a line. If the Schottky diode is black, this line is colored white. Okay? This line. This line refers to this part. This part, that line refers to that. Okay? So the positive, you have to connect it to this side. Connect it to that side. This is the positive battery, connect it to that. Then the part with line, okay, connect it to the load. Okay? So therefore, connecting this to the load, okay, if you, for example, mistakenly, for example, connect it to the negative and the other line here, you mistakenly connect to the positive like that, right? If you reverse, this will not be damaged, okay? This will not be borne down, this load. The load means all of your circuit. This involves all of your circuit. This includes your LED, your bulb, your motor, all of those, including the Arduino. Okay? So you can also use this for one specific. You can use this for one specific device, like you use this for motor only, or you use for Arduino only. It is still possible. You can do that. For example, this is the Arduino. Arduino power supply line 1. Arduino power supply line 2. Connect 1. The positive Arduino supply line connect to this part. So that if happens that you connect it to the negative power supply, it will not be damaged. Okay? This is very simple circuit. Very simple. Okay? Number 1. This is number 1. Next, I will show you the next one. Where's the next one? Okay. So if you can have additional budget, this is not very expensive, but it's still costly than Schottky diode. This is what we call MOSFET. Okay, MOSFET, P-channel MOSFET. So you have to buy P-channel MOSFET. Okay, so this is still not very expensive. So it will cost less than 50 pesos. Okay, less than 50 pesos. Unlike the Schottky diode, this one has three pins, letter D, S, and G. Pin G means gate pin. S means source pin. D means drain pin. Okay, drain, source, and gate. Source, that is your power source going to the load. That is the pin you have to connect to the load. Then gate, you have to connect to the other supply line of the load. And then connect it to the ground. Connect it to the ground. Then this is now your, okay, so wait. So this is now markup. It's just the markup. So this is now your line 1 and line 2. Okay, so line 1 is ground. So if happens that you reverse the connection like this, okay, if you reverse the connection like that, it will not on. It will not turn on. The load will not turn on. Okay, so if your connection is in error, if you have error, but if you have the correct connection, if you correctly put it on the correct polarity like this, positive is connected to drain pin, and then gate pin is connected to the negative, source is connected to the load, gate pin is connected to the other supply line, that is the correct one, then your system will run normally. That is what we mean by reverse polarity protection. Okay, using P-channel MOSFET. You can buy from any electronic store. Do you have P-channel MOSFET? Okay. Like that. Okay. Or a while ago, you can say, do you have Schottky diode? IN4004. Okay. That's how you get to acquire this. So one piece, only one piece of electronic component. Okay, for safety. Okay, so next one. So I have to this one. Again, you can use MOSFET P-channel MOSFET, okay, not only for reverse polarity protection, but for voltage protection. You can use it for voltage protection. Okay, like this. If the voltage is high, your power supply high, you just need to insert a resistor, 100 kilo ohms resistor. Okay, so you need to insert going to the gate. You insert 100 kilo ohm resistor and insert another electronic device. This is what we call Zener diode. Zener diode. Okay, this is Zener diode. So if you want 12 volts here, you want 12 volts, so meaning the source in the gate must produce 12 volts. Therefore, your Zener diode must be about or more than 10 to 10 to 12. Your Zener diode must be 10 to 12 volts so that this will produce 12 volts if your load is 12 volts. So source to gate must be 12 volts. Why I am explaining like this? Because you can have your what? You can have your multimeter to test the magnitude of voltage. You can put one the red probe of the multimeter here, the red one here at the gate, and put the black probe of the multimeter on the others, on the S pin here. Then you can what? You can turn on the switch and then you can read the output. The output should be about 10, 11, or 12 volts because your load is 12 volts by using this one and using your Zener diode that is about, could be 10 volts. Okay. If you use Zener diode 6 volts, then your load will become 6 volts. Your load will become 6 volts. That's why you need to use your Zener diode at least 10 volts if your load is 12 volts, so that you will get 12 volts or 10 volts here. That is suitable enough to turn on your electronic circuit. Okay. So again, same connection. The D pin must be connected to the positive. The only difference is that this is also over voltage protection. Not only reverse polarity protection, but also over voltage protection. So this MOSFET could protect you even up to 40 volts. Even up to 40 volts could protect you. So your device will not be burned by mistake. Okay? How many parts? 1, 2, 3. You just need to. So this is very hot. Very cheap. It's not expensive. This is just a resistor. So Zener diode also not very expensive. So there are 3 parts that you have to buy and connect it this way. So next is to show you the actual picture of MOSFET. Okay, actual picture of MOSFET. It looks like this. Okay, the MOSFET looks like this. Okay, as I mentioned, you can use it alone or you can use it with resistor and with Zener diode, so that for extra protection. Okay, so this is how the MOSFET look like. P-channel. Do not use N-channel MOSFET because the polarity will be reversed. So P-channel MOSFET if ever there is in channel MOSFET, I don't know. I'm not aware, but P channel, of course, there is a P channel MOSFET up to 100 volts. So this is okay, but you don't need to search for the 100 volt MOSFET. Even 40 volts MOSFET is okay, because you will just use it for what, 12 volts. So even 20 volts or 25 volts, because you are using it on the power supply that is about 12 volts. You can even 20 volts or 25 volts. Okay? Because if you are buying MOSFET with 100 volts versus buying MOSFET with 20 volts, 20 volts MOSFET is cheaper than 100 volt MOSFET. Okay? Okay? So how it is connected? Look at the picture. Okay. Look at the picture. So GDS. So take a look at how it is located. This is the front face of the MOSFET. This is the front face. On the left, G. Middle, D. Right side, S. So GDS. Okay? So gate that is supposed to be connected to the negative, D supposed to be connected to the positive, S supposed to be connected in your circuit. Okay? So any question? Any question? That's all for a very simple circuit that could protect your project. It's not expensive. It's very cheap. It could protect you reverse polarity mistake. For example, one of your group mates unknowingly and mistakenly connected the supply lines in reverse. So immediately, one or two electronic elements would be burned. And therefore, if that happens during the presentation, then all of you will get failing rate. Okay, all of you will become will get grade of 5. Okay, so that's why it's very helpful. Not only today, not only on your project, but any project, no? Any project that you need to protect in terms of polarity. For example, if your motor is sensitive enough for reverse polarity, there are motors that are not sensitive to reverse polarity. There are motors that can be connected to reverse polarity and still turn on. However, there are motors that are very sensitive to reverse polarity. So even motors, for example, Arduino, for example, digital circuit could easily get burned down by reverse polarity and also by over voltage. Okay, any question? Okay, there are no questions. There are no chat. So this video lecture is recorded. So I will just post it on our channel and post it on our GC. Okay, thank you. Again, this is Dr. EYPEI, preaching engineering for nation building.